in its purest form. Real cars on real roads, real fast. It's the Subaru Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. And hi again, everyone. Vic Rutter along with TSN Rally expert Paul Chater for the Export A Rallye Charlevoix.
North America's most popular rally started on Friday night just outside Bay St. Paul. They've already locked up the national championship, so it's appropriate that the Sprongel brothers start with car number 1. Frank and Dan Sprongel and their Castrol Audi team have a perfect season going. They've won on the ice and snow of 2 winter rallies, through the mud of Alberta and the dust of Gaspé. They are undefeated in 6 events. Few bartenders have popped as many champagne corks as the Sprongel brothers in 1999.
Now this is a 2-day event covering some 620 kilometers, 17 special stages, and they had the most entries in many years, Paul. 60 cars entered, 55 showed up to run.
And Vic, this rally could be a real fight. The first stage was won by the Sprongels, but the top 3 all broke the 120 kilometer per hour average speed, so it was scored as a 3-way tie.
Nice to see the familiar face of the American rally legend John Buffum back. This now in a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 5. Buffum most closely associated, of course, with Audi. He ran their successful U.S. rally program through the 80s. But you might not know this. He started as a Trans Am winner before moving to rallying in the 70s. First a Ford Escort, then Porsche's Triumph TR8s. In the 90s, his Liebherr racing team won championships for Hyundai.
He says the Evo 5 is probably the quickest rally car in North America. It's owned and prepared by co-driver Lance Smith, who runs a rally shop called Vermont Sports Car. The Evo 5 is a state-of-the-art FIA Group N car. It only produces 285 horsepower, but its Swedish Öhlins suspension reflects the latest thinking from Europe, and it puts the power down on the road.
The Subaru Impreza WRX, Tom McGeer, Trish McGeer from Georgetown, Ontario, and they can never be counted out.
3-time Canadian champions. Their last victory was on this event 1 year ago. Their 4-wheel drive turbocharged Impreza is a very capable car, developing about 360 horsepower. The defending champion wants to prove to his illustrious competitors that last year's win was no fluke. McGeer started well, winning 2 of the first 3 stages, including a long 25-kilometer stage on gravel.
It's nice to see for the McGeers, longtime supporters of Canadian rallying. So let's take a look now at the top 5, how they looked after the first night. And after one stage, Sprongel, Buffum, McGeer were tied, followed by Barb's Eagle and Kemp's Audi.
McGeer won the next stage to take the lead by 2 seconds over Buffum and 9 ahead of Sprongel. Kemp moved up to 4th.
And on the final stage, Buffum stormed back. McGeer trailed by 18, Sprongel another 3 farther back. So the old master was having a ball.
All rallies should have a stage like that.
Rally on TSN is brought to you in part by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive. And by Yokohama Performance Radials. Yokohama, now you've got control. Welcome back to the Rallye Charlevoix as we look down on this year's site of the rally, Île aux Coudres, an island in the St. Lawrence Fault, originally settled by Jacques Cartier. There would be 3 special stages on the island before the competitors and their service crews would take a half-hour ferry back to the mainland. Starting day 2 in first place, John Buffum, Lance Smith.
Now remember, Buffum is starting with a lead of just over 18 seconds on Tom McGeer. The weather's cold, it's dry, and it's windy.
Into T left, into acute left. Into acute
Hard left.
Now you can see grabbing, that's a vertical handbrake. Just set up for a rally car. And
34 right.
he loves using it. He's never tried it before, and he yanked it to get that acute left turn.
Now earlier you talked about this Swedish Öhlins suspension and you being state-of-the-art. What would it give him? What kind of an advantage would it give him, say, in a rally like this?
Well, I think we can already see the advantage, Vic. He's only running with about 285 horsepower compared to 405, 410 for the Sprongels, and he's right in the fight. So it's transferring the power, the limited 285 horsepower, directly down onto the road, and the car is sticking in the turns.
And we mentioned as well, being a former Trans Am driver, on stages like this, on the open roads, he maybe has an advantage there too. Now the McGears start with a 3-second margin over the Sprongles in third.
See right. Turn acute left.
Comes the same acute left turn where Buffum used the handbrake.
No handbrake being used by McGear though.
See right, tighten left around the house. Then see right, tighten left around the house.
Still tight around the house.
Where? Oh, there it is.
Look how broken. Interesting, the stages start on asphalt, go to the broken, and as we saw, go back to asphalt.
And listen to Trish McGear. Oh, no. The engine's fine. They've got lots of revs. They just have no gearbox. The clutch is gone.
Well, that's heartbreaking for the McGears, who started so well. So now it's a two-way battle at the front. Frank Sprongle would win the first Saturday stage by 5 seconds over Buffum. Sprongle won again on stage 2, and they tied on stage 3. So the gap between first and second down is just 14 seconds.
Foot right, foot right, foot right, foot right.
It's been that kind of year for them. They're getting a real challenge here. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to John Buffum.
And part of the difficulty here is that, as you mentioned, Vic, the stages are changing from asphalt to gravel, and the tire choice becomes a real compromise.
All out of Attica, New York comes the veterinarian John Kemp, who held on to third place now in his outing.
And this change in surface, Vic, it's not only a challenge for the drivers and hard on the car, the tire technicians from the 3 major manufacturers are having a difficult time choosing the right compound of tire, the right tread pattern for a road surface. Now, this stage, for example, is all on asphalt, but it's cold, and regular racing tires need to be pretty soft to work.
Ivar Van Pierre Fazinet are in 4th place, driving an Eagle Talent.
He likes the pavement stages and is trying hard to make up time on the red Audi, which excels on rough gravel.
Other Quebec teams, Sylvain Vincent, Dominique Cyr, 5th in their Lachute Subaru RS 2.5 liter.
Sylvain has a new motor for this rally and approximately 300 horsepower under his right foot. They've already locked up the production GT Canadian Championship, so now they're developing the Subaru into an open class contender for the 2000 championship.
Now, full slick tires, for example, as you might expect on asphalt, just wouldn't work here.
Well, they'd have to be a soft compound because it's cold today. They just won't get up to temperature enough to stick.
So the rally organizers brought in extra ferry boats to Ile aux Coudres to handle all the rally traffic. The crossing gave the co-drivers a chance to compare notes. So it's time to leave the island, head back to the mainland, and after 6 stages, Buffum leads Sprongle by 14. The top 5 cars overall are all 4-wheel drive open class cars. In the other categories, Chris Havis, Eric Tremblay lead Group 2 for 2-wheel drive cars. Their main rival, John Nichols, has dropped out.
Production GT was being led by the Vancouver team of Patrick Richard and Ian McCurdy in another Subaru. They crashed into some rocks on stage 2, which put them out and gave the GT lead to Kelsius Donnelly and Jerry Cuff from New York. Evan Moan and Thomas Young from Michigan are leading Production Sport in their Neon.
All we've seen, whether it be on the island or on the mainland, there are always thousands of spectators that attend the Rallye Charlevoix, and maybe it's because of all those people, the drivers, seem to try just a little, maybe sometimes too hard.
That's Walt Kammerer and Jacqueline Adams. Now let's watch what happened with them. A little airborne, the car got out of shape, and he's off and digs a wheel down into the ditch, and it's pirouette time. Fortunately, nobody was hurt.
Which says something, I think, about the safety built into these cars, that both Kammerer and Adams walk away.
Now, Keith Townsend, Ross Wood. Ooh, they almost knocked out the sign. They're still running.
Barely.
Well, at least they can get it parked. Let's have another look at that. Off on the edge, they got launched up the ramp. 8.5 from the Russian judge, Vic.
Hey, 50 kilometer side survived. Now the town of La Malbaie hosts one of the event's traditional special stages, Les Falaises.
This year, it was expanded to a 4.3-kilometer blast through the center of town. As we say at the top of every show, this is racing in its purest form. It's as close as we will ever get to the legendary Targa Florio or Mille Miglia road races of the 50s and 60s. Look at this. Would you like that in your front lawn?
Oh, come on. And look at the people right on the sidewalk. But they love it. By far the best attended rally in the Canadian Championship. Now this should be very interesting as we compare on the top John Buffum, 11-time U.S. champion against Frank Sprongel, 6-time Canadian champion. And to this point in the rally, Paul, Sprongel has won 3 stages, Buffum 2, and 2 more were tied. On total time, Buffum still has a 14-second advantage, but Sprongel, you think, might have the edge on the asphalt stage.
Well, you would think so, Vic. I mean, his Audi has about 410 horsepower. The Mitsubishi underneath Buffum, on the other hand, has about 285 horsepower, but remember, he's got this Trek Oline suspension from Sweden, so whereas we can expect Sprongel to be faster down the straights and gain some ground, we can expect Buffum to make up some time in the corners.
In the first split, you can see that Sprongel has a 2.1-second advantage.
And most of that was pretty close to flat out. These were very smooth, long sweeping bends. When it gets a little tighter, watch Buffum close the gap.
And flat out down the straights means speed of about, what, 160, maybe 170 km.
They're really road racing here. Now, Buffum may have a slight advantage. I mean, he has a road racing background, and he's been doing this for something like 25 years. And if you watch
but look at this. He's just eaten into it by half a second, right? He was down 2 seconds even now.
Exactly. It's getting into a twistier part now through the town.
T left.
Now, watch their hands. As I was saying, Buffum, ex-road racer, also an 11-time U.S. Rally champion, but you can see there's much less play with the wheel on the Mitsubishi than there is on the Audi when they get into the tight stuff.
Turn right.
Now, they're almost dead even at this point.
Look at this now. It's just down to a half second with Buffum continually just chewing into it a little bit now through the right.
You're gonna have to speak up.
Okay, sorry. Tracks, turn left.
Still just a little bit, just a little bump, and it was the Sprongels in front.
Ever so slightly.
Swing right hard.
It's wonderful stuff right through the center of the town.
T left.
Oh, but look, Sprongel's overcooked it a little. He's really sideways.
That'll lead into the time for sure. Now, here they'll come to the line. Remember, they've tied 2 stages already. And make it 3.
Good one, huh?
Yeah, great.
It sure was, fellas. Thank you. At Servicing Claremont, Paul, lights are mounted now. Asphalt racing tires, they're gone, replaced by soft compound gravel tires. And for one of the very few times that I can remember, and I think you'll agree, in our series anyway, Frank Sprongel is starting to feel the pressure.
We're trying to get every second we can right now, but I think it'll be decided on the long stages tonight. That car has a little bit better handling on the fast and twisty stuff, so I gotta drive this car on the limits to keep up today.
Remember now, the lead was 14 seconds. It's down to 12. Buffum is still leading, followed by Kemp, Barb, and Vincent at the Rallye Charlevoix.
In 10, swing left.
Welcome back to the Rallye Charlevoix. As we ride along with the Americans, John Buffum, Lance Smith, leading by 12 seconds over the Sprongels. This is the 14.3K stage they call La Pax.
In 10, zigzag left. Okay, are tight.
And the difficulty with this stage is the surface change. Look, there are wet standing water in some places. There is pavement. So the tire choice here is really critical, and you always go for the tire for the worst condition. In this case, he's running gravel tires now on pavement.
As we can see, even the odd snow flurry.
Man, that is on the floor in fifth.
On the floor in fifth gear.
It doesn't go any farther, that pedal.
That was like 6,500, I think.
Is that right?
140 maybe, 130, 140.
That's quick. Quick enough today.
He means 130, 140 miles per hour.
Of course. And he didn't win the stage. Buffum was third fastest, 3 seconds behind Sprongel, as the gap drops now to 9.
Perfect.
As we go on board with the Sprongels.
Into 200 medium bear left. Foot left.
Now we talk about power versus handling. Buffum had the handling, the Sprongels have the power, and 130 more horsepower advantage. But the Audi's heavier, and the suspension technology dates back to the late 80s when Audi was really the dominant factor in rally. The Mitsubishi is the best handling car Buffum says he has ever driven. It's fast in all conditions.
Foot left. Foot left.
And again, the point you make is that when you've got to get the power to the road, that Olean suspension that Buffum is using, just maybe the wheel plate isn't as great and the tires, the power stays closer to the road.
And it's making sure that all 4 areas of power, all 4 tires are evenly balanced and glued down to the surface.
But now this, on the pavement, is where the Audi and the Sprongel should have the advantage.
It should have. He's got a lot more horsepower. But I still think it's fascinating the fact that the Olean suspension is actually compensating for a 130 horsepower difference.
Now third place belongs to John Kemp and Rod Hendrickson. Their non-turbo Audi is at a power disadvantage to Eve Barb's Eagle. Barb can beat them on pavement, but again, they're faster on the dirt.
Barb started the day trailing Kemp by 1:20 seconds, but he's got the gap down to just 41 seconds now, and he's going flat out in front of his fans.
Sylvain Vincent, Dominic Sear, 5th overall in their new Impreza. Sylvain enjoying a new engine, as you mentioned.
But he's realizing that doubling the horsepower requires much bigger brakes to get it slowed down for the corners. It may go faster, but it's not stopping any faster.
Sakis Hadjiminas and Brian Maxwell. This is a Volkswagen kit car with a twin-turbo V6.
It's fairly fragile, and it just wouldn't last, but it was spectacular and posted second fastest time on this stage.
So through 9 stages, as we take a look at the Subaru top 10, Buffum at 53.55. So 9 seconds back, the Sprongels, who have closed it from 14 to 12 to 9. Kemp and Hendrickson, a solid third at 56.13. Followed by Barb and Bazinet. Vincent and Sear in 5th in their Subaru Impreza. Hadjiminas and Maxwell. But as we say, 6th now, they would not finish.
And the top Group 2 two-wheel drive car is a VW Golf, driven by Chris Havis and Eric Tremblay in 7th. Donnelly and Cuff, lead production GT in 8th. Andrew Havis has a Group 2 Mazda in 9th overall, 25 seconds behind brother Chris in his class. And rounding out the top 10, Mark Racine and Luc Pichet.
And Paul, if once isn't enough, maybe it's true they say it is better the second time around. La Pax, but it turns out it wasn't any better for Eve Barb.
Now, this is not a major crash. I mean, he's gone off the road, but he's down a fair bit, and the ground is pretty mucky. So they've decided to get out and either dig or push.
Now you can see now that this always happens. Quebec fans love to see them running to help. Now they have to realize the rally is still going on. Here comes one of the cars by. But the whole point of this is to get Eve Barb back in.
at this. They're basically going to carry the car back up onto the road.
Look at the guy on the trunk lid trying to get the rear wheels down.
This is great. Look, they're even adjusting his headlights for him.
6 minutes later, and Yves Barbe thumbs up, and we're back in it.
That's wonderful.
Another service, 3 more night stages to go. Very rare that the 2 fastest drivers will both have a trouble-free run and will continue to swap seconds late in a rally. And this is a treat that they are going to enjoy as much as the fans. So don't go away here on TSN. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rallye Charlevoix here on TSN and the service at San Simeon. And Paul Sprongel's prediction is coming true. The rally would be won or lost on the long stages.
After swapping seconds for 2 days, Buffum drove brilliantly to post a win on the long, rough 36-kilometer Baccarat stage by 27 seconds, extending his total lead to 36 and effectively ending the Sprongel's challenge.
16 kilometers to run, though, Paul, and, you know, give them credit, the Sprongel's going for it here. The difference may be pavement and how they performed on it compared to the dirt sections.
Well, and their tire choice as well. Sprongel admits that the Yokohamas he's on he feels superior on this kind of surface, and he managed to claw back some 17 seconds from Buffum.
Now, rally organizers here in Charlevoix have applied to the FIA, hopefully to get this a world stop. And by possibly 2001, all the world's best could come to the Rallye Charlevoix. Congratulations to John Buffum. He's the winner over the Sprongel.
We were very, very close, all as you know, last night, all day today, until the long stage, and then we had a very good time on the long stage, and that sort of put us over the top, and then the last 2 stages, we've just been cruising along.
After giving the drive of his life, Yves Barbe had his engine blow on the last stage.
We have a problem with the engine, but at the end of the last stage, we tried to join the headquarters.
So for the first time this season in the Canadian Championship, the Sprongels failed to win. It's Buffum by 22 seconds. And you don't see Yves Barbe's name there. Well, he just didn't have enough power in his engine, and so he was forced to DNF. Couldn't get back to the hotel. Congratulations to everyone in Charlevoix for a wonderful rally, and best of luck on trying to make the World Rally Championship. The Rallye Auto Charlevoix was brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radials. Now you've got control. And by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive. Now, on behalf of Paul Chater and our entire crew, I'm Vic Crowder. Thanks for joining us. The Canadian Rally Championship. You're watching Canada's most watched sports network, TSN.